So what does it mean if it doesn't go up? We have to speak in code here because of the algorithm, but I think you know what I mean. The major problem we're talking about is when you were young, man, you were the minute man. You were ready in a minute and you were done in a minute. Now, not so much. I mean, there's lots of things that can cause this problem. You can have heart disease, you can have high blood pressure, you can have high cholesterol. It could be due to alcohol or you're smoking too much. Diabetes is an issue, obesity is an issue, and ironically, if you're a cyclist, if you're using the wrong seat or saddle on your bicycle, that can cause old Willie to not work. But cardiovascular disease is the #1 reason. Also, high blood pressure. It's no surprise that the two major drugs that are used to treat this particular condition are blood pressure drugs. Or at least they started out as blood pressure drugs. If you know the history of the two drugs I'm talking about, they started out as blood pressure drugs, but what happened was all these people that were taking the drug said, "Hey doc, this is amazing. My wife and I are much happier at nighttime." They realized that this drug had a greater effect on that. So it was marketed towards that, and here we are today. So the thing is, if we're gonna think about this and say, well, we wanna treat the cause of a problem, not the symptom, those drugs are simply changing the symptom. But let's start changing the cause. There are specific things that you can do to improve your cardiovascular fitness so that it starts working down there. There are 3 things, and #1 is to do cardiovascular exercise. I'm not talking about HIIT training, I'm not talking about lifting weights, I'm talking about raising your heart rate up to a certain level and maintaining it for a period of time. This is the best solution to improve nitric oxide production. Now, I'm not saying weightlifting is bad. I understand that many people like to weightlift, but lifting weights that are heavy does not improve our ability to produce nitric oxide, and that is the name of the game when trying to make sure things go up rather than stay down. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to do enough cardiovascular exercise, maybe 30 minutes, 3 to 4 hours before you want to perform at nighttime. The reason this is important is because #1, you don't want to be too tired, so you don't want to exercise right before. But if you exercise 3 to 4 hours before you want to hit the sack, then what'll happen is your body will be recovered from the workout. Make sure and take a shower, by the way. Yeah, you need to take a shower before. That's true. But your body will produce nitric oxide in a more efficient manner for about 24 hours afterwards, but it's not continuous through the 24 hours. So about 3 or 4 hours is when your body can recover from the workout, but don't work out too hard, but enough to produce nitric oxide production. #2, eat tons of vegetables. Make sure your diet has a boatload of vegetables, as much as you can possibly eat relative to your hunger level. So leafy greens, you want spinach, you want beets, you want arugula, you want celery, you want dark leafy green vegetables. The reason why is because all these foods have nitrates in them, and our body needs nitrates to convert into nitric oxide. And it's the nitric oxide, along with exercise, when you do that, it'll help kind of dilate our blood vessels. It'll make the blood vessels more pliable, which allows more blood to get there. You see where I'm going with this? What's fascinating about these foods, for example, beets or beetroot juice, is some of these foods are so strong that there are warnings on your blood pressure medication. If you're taking blood pressure medication and you eat a lot of these foods, both of them could lower your blood pressure so much that it lowers it too much. So always make sure that you're being careful with this, and consult with your doctor and let them know, hey, I'm going to start eating some beetroot juice. Can we monitor my blood pressure and see if I can lower the blood pressure medication? In fact, if you're using one of those 2 drugs to help you perform, you need to be careful, because many of these foods that I'm talking about, including beetroot juice, can significantly lower your blood pressure. And then if you take one of those pills, an hour before or the day of, then that can lower your blood pressure too much, so be careful. The third and final thing that you can do, or there are supplements that you can take that would improve your nitric oxide production. There's L-arginine, L-citrulline, there's beetroot supplements, there's beetroot powders, there's lots of different things that you can do. And if you're looking for a performance enhancement, whether it's athletically or athletically at nighttime, whatever your sport is, then what you want to do is you want to take those supplements about 3 to 4 hours prior to the athletic event. And this, of course, will help you perform. Lastly, as a thought, if you are a cyclist and you ride bicycles, make sure you get a good saddle with a cutout, because as cyclists, as we sit for long periods of time on these basically 2x4s that pound us up into the perineum, you want to make sure that you have a good saddle that fits you and good positioning. I personally use the Sella SMP saddle on my road bike. That's the bike that I ride long distances on. And the reason I like that saddle is it was developed by a urologist for this very reason. In fact, what I'll do, I'm an Amazon affiliate, and if you ride bikes, I'll put a link down below to the saddle that I use on my bicycle if you're concerned about blood flow in that particular area. If this helps things go up, then give me a thumbs up. If it doesn't help you, keep your thumbs down. Let me know in the comment section if you like this video and you find it helpful. Also, today's video sponsor is Nature's Pure Blend. They have a number of supplements that can help with this very type of problem. They have a beetroot supplement, they have a nitric oxide blood flow supplement with L-arginine and L-citrulline. These are the products that I use personally and I recommend to people. I find it a very good company that has a very high quality product. You can certainly choose any product that you want, but if you want to look at these and see if these products are right for you, then I'll put a link down below in the description. You can look at that as well.